Here is the hidden cost of AI adoption that nobody is talking about. Most conversations about AI adoption are around tools, pricing, technology, budgets, but that's not really what's stopping larger organizations from moving forward with AI. The real cost of AI adoption shows up inside organizations, with people, with decision making, with ego, and with the power struggles. The real cost is about identity, and this cost is being paid whether the decision makers are aware of it or not. You see, AI is not a tool problem, it's an organizational pressure test. When AI enters a company, it doesn't just make work go faster. It reveals how the different departments and the processes of an organization work. It reveals who makes decisions, who delays decisions, who has value, who is autopiloting. It reveals who is supposed to exit because intelligence used to be scarce and now it's not anymore. The reality is that the most leadership teams are not ready for that type of exposure to truth. AI exposes who actually thinks versus who repeats the same pattern. It reveals who understands first principles versus who is just working off of experience alone. Every single time we've done an AI transformation or modernization project, what's surprising is where the majority of the resistance comes from within an organization. It's rarely from junior people. Majority of the resistance comes from senior people in an organization. People whose authority was built on tenure, not leverage. On being the smartest person in the room, not the fastest learner. AI does not replace them. AI reveals truly how much leverage their position had. That threat does not show up as fear. It shows up as caution. It shows up as a concern. It shows up as more calls and more meetings. But the root of that is identity. It's an identity crisis. Then comes the middle layer panic. AI compresses decision chains. You have to move faster when you're working with AI because things that used to take you days or weeks to make decisions on happens instantly. Things that used to take multiple meetings now require a single decision. That scares people whose role was to manage the chain rather than owning the outcome. This is where the pain comes from. So, when you enter with AI modernization or transformation, the entire organization slows itself down. You have pilots and experiments that never have an end. You have committees that are formed that evaluate what already works. You have unnecessary approvals that are framed as governance. All of that justified as responsibility. For all the board members, co-founders, CEOs, presidents, that's not responsibility. That's self-preservation. I simply call it bullshit autopilot. I call it incompetence. AI threatens unnecessary friction. And this leads to what organizations call AI adoption today. I call it AI false bullshit adoption. You have dashboards that nobody trusts. You have AI integrated into workflows and reports without decision making. And the senior leaders are basically saying that they are experimenting, but that experimentation becomes permanent. That's why it is bullshit. AI stays safely away from anything that actually matters in decision making, in visibility in finance, in visibility in lead gen, marketing, sales pipelines. AI becomes theater. The appearance of progress without the risk of change. That is not adoption. That is avoidance. Another hidden cost is decision paralysis. AI increases intelligence. Intelligence increases options. Options increase hesitation. Teams start asking AI what to do instead of deciding. Leaders and senior people wait for certainty that never arrives. AI does not slow down organizations, indecision does. AI simply exposes that a lot faster. Ladies and gentlemen, if your leadership lacks conviction, intelligence becomes a liability. And then something much more dangerous happens. Ownership erodes. Decisions become abstract. Responsibility gets diffused. People stop saying, "This was my decision." People start saying, "This is what the system told me to do." That shift is incredibly significant. How many of you have experience with team members who just asked a question to ChatGPT and copy-pasted the response to an email, to a strategy without even reviewing it so it looks like crap? I know you have that experience. AI should sharpen judgment, not replace it. It should increase accountability, not dilute it. If nobody in your organization owns the outcome, intelligence is irrelevant. There is also a cultural cost that nobody talks about. The output does increase, but effort feels different. When leverage increases, meaning often decreases unless the leadership reframes purpose. People struggle when contribution becomes invisible, when work no longer feels earned in the traditional sense, because AI changes how effort maps to value. If leaders ignore that shift, engagement will drop even though your productivity may skyrocket. This is why most AI initiatives quietly fade away. It's impossible to do any form of AI transformation or AI modernization if your organization, if your leadership, if the senior people in your team are not ready to be held accountable. If, as the owner, as the CEO, as the president, you were not able to reframe the purpose of your organization. Not because the technology failed, not because you ran out of budget. They failed because identity was threatened, because power structures shifted, because your leadership did not adapt quickly enough. No one announced the failure. It will just slowly disappear. So the real question that your leadership should be asking is not which AI tools are we supposed to use. It is this: which roles used to exist only because intelligence was scarce? Which of our processes are slow by design? Which hierarchies are defended by friction rather than value or outcome? Now, that's a very uncomfortable question for most, but I promise you, it's the most honest one. AI adoption is inevitable. The cost is already being paid. The only choice leaders have is whether that transformation is intentional or accidental. Whether transformation shapes leadership or leadership shapes transformation. That is the conversation that we should be having. So, if you are a CEO, if you're a president, a co-founder, or a founder, understand that AI transformation and modernization is not going to come easily to your organization. You are going to have so many people in your organization fight against it, and they won't even know that they're resisting that change. If you are not able to get a buy-in from your leadership, if you are not able to reframe the purpose of your mission, of your vision, you will not be able to complete this project in an efficient manner. And this is very unfortunate, but 90% of organizations that do not implement AI adoption are going to die in the next 5 to 10 years. The bullshit autopilot execution that does not own the outcome, that does not pay attention to the value creation, is going to kill your organization. So, my question to all the CEOs, presidents, founders out there is, what are you going to do about it?